What's up? Welcome to Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show on YouTube. The man down there dashing Derek. The man in the middle. Your mom's favorite guy, Angelo Stefano. And my name is Devon. We appreciate you guys checking out Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show. Make sure you smash that like, comments,
demolition smash,
all that stuff. Yeah, demolition, smash it, hit the notification bell. We appreciate you guys subscribing to the show, help us grow and make some fun content. Hopefully clear your minds just for a little bit each and every Tuesday as we drop a brand new show. All right, we're starting it off with an idea that came from this man's brain right in the middle there, talking about pro wrestling's biggest booking blunders. That's a lot of B. So something that happened in the past where you were just like, well, in hindsight now, or I would have done that different, or that was a really bad idea.
Kind of like when Stefano got his hair cut during a match, right?
Hey, come on now. That wasn't...
that a blunder?
That was out of my hands.
Biggest booking blunders. Does one or two come to your mind right off the bat? If not, I have one automatically that comes to my mind.
How about everything Tony Khan has ever
Oh,
done?
how did we know that was going to happen?
Yeah, you want to go?
Oh,
you want
man.
to fight? Huh?
Unbelievable.
Are those fight
We're
words?
doing this right now? We're
Yeah.
going to do this right
No!
now?
See, I should have sat in the middle of
Are
you
you gonna?
guys.
You're gonna cry? You're gonna cry a little bit? No. All kidding aside. How about this? I thought about this, and it was the reason. How much would history have changed or be absolutely totally different if Vern Gagne gives Hulk Hogan the
Yes.
AWA title off of Nick Bockwinkel instead of, everyone calls it a Dusty finish. Vern was doing that finish before Dusty was.
He was. And if you're too young to remember any of this, jump on YouTube after our show is done here and check out that clip of when Hogan won. The crowd pops. And it's like it's the loudest response ever, I think, in pro wrestling history, besides when Hogan lost to maybe Goldberg in Atlanta. But wow, that would have been something. Had the strap been on Hogan, he wouldn't have went to New York. And
he doesn't. He probably doesn't go to New York. Vince maybe doesn't. Vince probably would have had someone else in the Hogan role.
Tom McGee,
maybe that would have worked.
Billy Graham?
I mean, what happens? Is Vince able to take over wrestling? Are the territories still around if that happens? Because maybe Vern doesn't go national, maybe he does. Or maybe that would have allowed Crockett to come up.
right? That's another one.
A lot of, it's very interesting. I remember I was about 9 years old when that happened, and I remember going, well, how come he can't beat Nick Bockwinkel? I couldn't figure it out.
He's twice the size of him. He's huge.
And
big star.
I went to an AWA show and saw one of their matches, and I'm like, Hulk Hogan should kill that guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, how come he can't beat him? I just, it was perplexing even to a 9-year-old Stefano.
And I think I remember part of the reason why Vern didn't want to put the strap on Hogan is because he didn't want him doing the Rocky movie.
That was part of it, yeah. Rocky 3 it was, which shout out to Thunder Lips and Cumberland.
Vince McMahon Sr. didn't want Hogan doing Rocky 3, and I believe that's why initially he left New York for the AWA in the first place.
Yep. So it's just absolutely insane. If that would have happened, AWA champion Hulk Hogan's got a nice little ring to it. Automatically, when these things pop up, I always take myself back to 2001, the Invasion angle.
That's a good one.
where they had the winner takes all match. And it's crazy because a lot of it was still WWE guys. I mean, I think Booker T was in there, but it was Kurt Angle and The Rock and Stone Cold. You didn't I don't know the right answer of what you should have done for the invasion angle, but being a creative guy like yourself, I feel like there's a million things you could have think of had WCW and ECW invade, even if it they could have drug that out for a whole year, and that actually only lasted from March till November. I think they completely dropped the ball on that.
That's a big blunder right there. I mean, everybody booked WCW versus WWF, and it became more of the McMahon family feuding amongst each other. I understand having Shane McMahon purchase WCW, that made sense, but then they threw in Stephanie bought ECW, and then all of a sudden they're the Alliance, and then you didn't have the stars like Sting and Hogan and Goldberg because they had those guaranteed contracts.
Right, so they just stay at home and collect the cash.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, Booker T and Buff Bagwell, like, they were stars in their own right for sure, but they didn't have the same cachet as those, you know, that did. But yeah, that's definitely a big blunder. I remember that main event with Booker T and Buff Bagwell on Monday Night Raw, and legend has it that Vince McMahon just got irritated at it. And I feel like he still treated them as the competition, even though he owned them.
They were under his umbrella.
Right, and, you know, WWE ended up conquering WCW once again and, you know, killed the brand.
It's the whole invasion. They didn't have the stars, like you said. It would be like the NFL trying to invade another football league. So instead of sending the Kansas City Chiefs, they send the LA Chargers.
Fair enough.
And everyone's like, oh.
To play devil's
Chargers?
advocate, though, you did have Booker T.
Well, yeah.
And then you had maybe like a Raven or a DDP, Lance Storm. I know not huge, crazy names, but enough to like maybe carry it out a little bit longer where you could still be talking to some of the bigger names and be like, hey, like we have these big plans for an invasion angle, Goldberg. Let's figure something out and get you in on board on this. You know,
eventually all those stars ended up coming to WWE anyways,
yeah.
like shortly after. So you would think they'd be able to string it out a little bit longer than just a couple months.
Yeah, it's interesting what they could have done with the invasion angle. If you have some plot that you thought of many moons ago, feel free to share it in the comments. Another one that pops up in my mind, we go back to 2007, our friend Hornswoggle, where he was the illegitimate child of Mr. McMahon, Vince's son. When he was finally revealed, I feel like initially this was going to go to Ken Kennedy, if I am not mistaken. And it's something maybe that they could have built a star with and done something out of it, but it was like he became, you know, Hornswoggle, and then he was like the anonymous Raw GM, and
became more of a comedy.
Yeah, very flat-ish. Even though it was cool, nothing against Hornswoggle. We love him; he's a great guy. Yeah, it's just one of those things that pop up.
It went from a very serious angle to very comical, like you said, and nothing against Hornswoggle. He did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Phenomenal.
And which I heard, like, actually, he didn't find out, actually, until, like, an hour before that all aired.
I remember watching that Raw when he was announced as the son, and he came out, like, the crowd popped. People were into it.
Absolutely.
Vince sold, I'll give Vince credit, he sold it like $1 million. Like, he was like, oh, this can't possibly be. My loins could have created such a thing. You know, it was what it was. But that was another thing where the plans had changed, and it seems like they just, first thing that came to mind, they went with it. They made it work for the run of it, but yeah, could have been used to substantially springboard someone.
Absolutely. Any other booking blunders that come to your mind right off the bat?
Yeah, taking it back to WCW, I'm going to go with Starrcade 97.
Ooh, that's a good
one. The build with Sting and the Crow gimmick, that was like a 1.5 year long build. And you were just waiting for Sting to, you know, conquer Hogan and take the belt from him finally. And then they ended up botching the finish. They tried to get a little too cute with it, with the fast count that wasn't a fast count with Nick Patrick.
Is that the one where Bret Hart?
And then Bret Hart had to come in, and it's like it just became an overbooked mess. And it was like, eventually Sting won the title, but I remember feeling at the time, I'm like, gosh, like it still felt like empty and hollow. And I think you can kind of pinpoint like that was the point when WCW started to die, and that's what they kind of talk about in that docu-series, Who Killed WCW. I think this was like the start of the death of WCW.
That was the first brick taken out of the wall.
Yeah, there you go.
Before it all started to crumble. It was, talk about flat. I mean, it just, and you hear the stories, oh, it was Hogan's idea. Oh, it wasn't Hogan's idea.
Or Bischoff.
I think there was layers of people to blame, not necessarily just one person.
However it happened, whoever had the final say made a horrible mistake. Sting should have went over clean.
Yep.
Hogan wouldn't have lost that much from it. You know, he could have came back a couple weeks later, meaner than ever. I'm going to regain my belt. Blah, blah, blah. And you could have had a whole new thing. I think the fans, it was such a turnoff. And it was very similar to when Hogan couldn't beat Bockwinkel.
Yes. How funny is that?
And how badly that hurt the AWA's business after that. It's the parallels are extremely similar.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If there's any booking blunders that pop in your mind, drop them in the comments below. We would definitely like to read those and check them out for sure. All right, switching gears a little bit. Recently, Randy Orton took to some podcasts and the internet and said he will likely remain in the history books as forever as the youngest world champion in WWE history, according to the man himself. Of course, he won at just 24 years old back in SummerSlam of 2004. And we have some quotes from him here. He says, this is from Randy Orton: "As far as someone becoming the youngest world heavyweight champion and taking that from me, I don't see that happening, only because I think it was a very special circumstance when I became the youngest world champion. I was 24 years old, and I don't know if there's anyone young enough to make that yet." Anybody beating that record at all? Yeah, I feel like records are made to be broken.
They are. It won't happen within the next 5 or probably even 10 years, but someone will come along at like 18, 19 years old. They'll be just a prodigy, a phenom. No disrespect to The Undertaker there. Someone will come along who just wows the wrestling world, and the rocket will be put on their back, and
we had our producer check a few people. Brooks Jensen has been making some headlines in the NXT programs. He's 22 years old. Another NXT person, Javon Evans. He's been impressing a lot of people. He's turning 20. He just turned 21 actually this last April. So there are two young cats right there that could make some noise. I mean, it's quite a big jump right there. But is that person around right now, or is he still maybe in diapers or 10 years old?
I think he's probably in junior high, maybe in 7th or 8th grade.
Okay.
Right about now.
Well, I know Roman Reigns, he's got 2 sets of twin sons that are 4 and 8 years old right now. So maybe in like 12 years, if not 12 years, maybe in 16 years. So never say never. We could be seeing like a young Roman Reigns Jr. with the title. But part of the reason why Randy Orton won the title so young is because they were not in good sitting with Brock Lesnar, who had held the record at that time. But we take a look at like the rest, like the top 10 youngest, I believe. Do you know who the 3rd youngest was?
I don't.
Yokozuna was the 3rd. And
really?
then I believe,
okay. That's a fun little fact.
But if you take a look at the top 10, it's really a who's who of pro wrestling. You had The Undertaker on that list, John Cena, Bruno Sammartino was on there, Pedro Morales, Ivan Koloff, I believe. So really, who's who of pro wrestlers, so it's definitely going to take a generational talent.
So it all depends on how you spin this. If Randy Orton's just saying, hey, nobody's going to beat it, it was a special moment, I was young. Or if some people flip that and almost was like, nobody's good enough behind me. Some people are saying, nobody's good enough back here, that's going to make that jump. So take it how you will, I don't know, from the Viper himself.
But with the WWE having the 2 titles, you know, the 2 world champions, records are meant to be broken. We probably won't see it in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, so we'll see.
Is there a little Stefano floating around anywhere, or cousins or anything that may take the title from him? No,
I'm well beyond the age of 24, so even if I did win the world title, I'd be much too old to break that record. No, I don't know who it is. I don't think any of us know who it is right now, but someone will come along. It happens in sports.
It does, yeah.
Tiger Woods coming along at 19 years old and winning every tournament in the world practically. I mean, it'll happen. It will happen.
Absolutely. If there is a certain talent out there, men or female, that you think that could break that record and be the youngest champion, definitely drop it in the comments. We would love to hear from you and check those out. As always, we are on the Pro Wrestling Tee Store. Make sure you scoop up some of that Ultimate Wrestling Trivia merch. Recently, we had the chance to sit down and talk to Ring of Honor AEW superstar Cole Karter. He's a good brother, and we got a little chat with him to find out some interesting things about Cole Karter. Check it out now. Welcome to Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show on YouTube. Today's special guest, we have AEW Ring of Honor star Cole Karter with us today. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
All right, so we got the hard-hitting questions here today. What is the weirdest thing in your fridge?
So I drink a gallon of milk every single day. So my fridge is loaded with about like 12 gallons of milk.
A lot of
in
milk.
my fridge
Okay.
every day.
Yeah. So like, how much milk do you drink? Like, you average a week or a month?
7 gallons a week. A gallon a day.
That's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people think I'm strange for that. But that's
Milk
how you
does
get
the body good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How many unread text messages do you have on your phone right now?
Look at it right now.
Oh gosh. How many?
It's
Let's see.
pretty,
Gotta get close.
It's pretty extreme. It's been going on since like 2010.
Okay. How many unread text messages?
2,381.
I have anxiety just hearing that. Do we think the emails are more or less than that? How many unread emails do you have?
Let's see here.
That's got to be like 30,000, I bet. The pressure's on.
Pressure's on here.
How many unread emails does Cole Karter have on his phone currently?
99, because I do
No.
I read my emails. I'm a responsible boy.
Okay, so you keep it under 100.
Yeah.
I like that.
Not too extreme.
All right. What does Cole have going on for this summer? Any big plans? Any trips or anything fun? going on?
I'm going to Clearwater next week.
I was
And
there before. That's fun.
You like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I checked out Hogan's Beach Shop there. The beaches are phenomenal. They have some great
Yeah.
shrimp tacos. It was good stuff.
I'm going to Hawaii in August. Which
Okay.
Yeah, like close to fall, but every Saturday we're traveling with Ring of Honor, and I'm killing it all over the world.
Yeah,
So,
my man, make sure you check him out. He's doing some good things. Speaking of Ring of Honor and AEW, do you have any fun, like, traveling stories? Anything that happened in the past that comes to mind? Whether it's funny or, like, bizarre, you saw something in the airport, you're like, bro, what is that? What's going on? Do you have any fun stories? Or maybe stories about Tony Khan that you could share that are out there? Like, any weird moments? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry, but...
So Tony Khan, he's going back to the milk. He caught me with the milk, and he caught me with that, and he went out after a Ring of Honor taping and announced to the whole arena, Cole Karter drinks a gallon of milk every single day. Just to make me weird to everybody. And,
did the crowd at least pop for it? Though?
No, they booed. They booed, of course.
Oh, they booed the milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they boo me.
Oh man,
It's whatever.
So that's so awesome. So where can everybody find you on social media? Are you active on social media? Are you on the X, the Instagram?
I'm on X, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace.
MySpace.
GameCube. I'm on all of it.
What was that guy's name that was like the one friend with everybody on MySpace? What was his name? Do you remember?
Cole Karter.
It was Cole Karter. Fair enough.
At Real Cole Karter on all of that. It's the same for everything.
Awesome. That's so cool. And last question, what are we streaming? What streaming services are we watching? Any good series, or is there any TV that...
Honor Club.
Honor Club.
Honor Club.
Bam, bam, bam.
Honor Club. Put it out there.
That's what I like.
Watch me every single Thursday. You don't need to watch Mandalorian or Game of Thrones. That all sucks. You can just watch me.
Honor Club.
Just watch me.
There it is. We'll throw it back to you guys in the studio once again. Give it up for Cole Karter, everybody.
All right, that was Ring of Honor AEW star Cole Karter, one of your favorites. I learned a few things there.
He likes milk, I heard, yeah.
He likes milk. Do you like milk?
With cookies, yeah.
With cookies. Oreos?
Does your body good.
Chocolate chips, actually, what I prefer.
Yeah. Best cookies, Snickerdoodles, I think. That's what I'm going to go with. It's a good cookie.
Chocolate chip, just I'm old school, yeah.
All right. We are all over the social media as well. We are on the X, we are on the Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just search Ultimate Wrestling Trivia. Give us a follow and subscribe on that YouTube. Pass it along to all your family and friends. We truly appreciate that. Before we leave today's show, a friend of the program, Mr. Road Dogg.
Oh, you didn't know?
You better call somebody. He's got some trivia. Check it out right now.
It's me, it's the D-O-double-G, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and I got a question for you. How many times was I the WWF Tag Team Champions with my partner, Billy Gunn? And if you don't know the answer, then I got 2 words for you. Suck it. You know what I'm talking about.
That is the Road, D-O-double-G, Road Dogg. Do you know the answer to that trivia? Make sure you drop it below and let us know. And if memory serves me correct, Dashing Derek.
Yeah.
Our very own Angelo Stefano
Weren't
was in the ring
You were
with
in the
Road
ring?
Dogg. Does that bring back any kind of memories at all with Road Dogg and Stefano?
Why do you have to do this? Yes, I was in the ring with Road Dogg. It didn't turn out well for me.
It usually doesn't.
Why do you have to bring up painful memories? I don't I don't go to you and be like, hey, remember when you were in 10th grade and you went on a date with that girl and she left you sitting at the mini mart?
Ooh, mini mart.
You know, I don't bring up painful memories for you. Don't bring them up for me.
Fair enough.
And I'll tell you what, Road Dogg's lucky that I had a cold that day because I would have paintbrushed him left and right, but I was sick. I had 107-degree fever, had a touch of tonsillitis, and I was still trooper enough to be in the ring.
Wow, there you go. All right, that does it for the show this Tuesday. The man down there is Dashing Derek, the man in the middle who survived a 107-degree temperature flu.
Wow, it's the truth.
Angelo Stefano. My name is Devon, and we will see you next Tuesday. Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show on YouTube.